While static frames and carefully composed shots form the backbone of filmic language, the element that truly breathes life into cinema is movement, both within the frame and through the edits between frames. In this advanced module, we explore the dynamic grammar of film, where motion, rhythm, and spatial continuity merge to form compelling narratives. We begin with camera movement, from subtle tilts to sweeping tracking shots, and how these kinetic choices influence emotional tone, spatial orientation, and storytelling momentum. Movement within the frame is just as crucial. Actors, props, and background elements can dramatically shape the audience's perception of a scene. We then examine the role of editing and continuity, which transform a series of shots into coherent cinematic experiences. We cover classical continuity editing, the invisible art, juxtaposition, Soviet montage theory, and modern editing styles, while emphasizing the psychological and compositional logic that maintains spatial and temporal coherence. This module shows that shots, angles, and compositions don't exist in isolation. They function relationally, gaining meaning through their sequencing, pacing, and movement. Whether creating tension in an action sequence, guiding a character's emotional arc, or building suspense through rhythm, movement, and editing, remain essential visual tools. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you will be able to understand and identify types of camera movement and their narrative functions. Analyze how motion within the frame affects composition and emotional impact. Evaluate various editing techniques and their effects on viewer perception and continuity. Apply principles of continuity editing to maintain spatial coherence across shots. Critically assess how movement and editing enhance or disrupt compositional logic. Core Content Areas 6.1 Understanding Camera. Movement. Camera movement is not merely aesthetic. It shapes narrative perspective and guides emotional response. Each movement alters the audience's relationship with the characters in space. Key camera movements: pan, horizontal pivot of the camera, used for revealing or tracking action across space. Tilt, vertical pivot, often used for dramatic reveals or disorientation. Dolly, tracking shot. Camera physically moves through space, creates immersion and urgency. Crane, jib shot. Camera lifted vertically, establishes scale or grandiosity. Steadicam, stabilized, handheld mobility, conveys subjective realism and smooth motion. Handheld, unstable movement, often used in thrillers or documentaries to simulate realism or chaos. Zoom, optical lens movement toward or away from subject, often used for emphasis or emotional focus, though overuse can feel artificial. Push-in, pull-back, subtle dolly movements to increase emotional proximity or detachment. Psychological effects, rapid movements, urgency, tension, chaos. Slow movements, reflection, gravity, emotional weight. Stillness, control, calm, or suspense, e.g., The Shining. 6.2 Movement within the frame, internal composition. What happens inside the frame is equally important. Actors, vehicles, crowds, animals, or even elements like smoke or light create visual flow and tension. Key concepts: blocking, the arrangement and movement of actors within the shot. Motivated movement, when a character's motion prompts the camera to follow or react. Spatial dynamics, how characters move relative to one another. Dominance, conflict, unity. Choreography, used in action scenes or dance to guide rhythm and frame energy. Example: in Children of Men, 2006, long takes with chaotic in-frame motion emphasize danger and disorientation while still maintaining compositional control. 6.3 Continuity Editing, Classical Hollywood Style. Also known as the invisible edit, continuity editing ensures seamless transitions between shots to preserve spatial continuity, where everything is in relation to everything else. Temporal continuity, time flows logically and coherently. Narrative continuity, the story progresses without jarring interruptions. Key techniques: match on action. Action started in one shot continues in the next. A punch, a door opening. Eyeline match. A character looks off-screen, followed by a shot of what they're seeing. 180-degree rule. Keeps characters on consistent screen sides to avoid spatial confusion. 30-degree rule. Camera must shift at least 30 degrees between shots to avoid a jump cut. Shot/reverse shot. Common in dialogue scenes, alternates between over-the-shoulder shots. Example: in Casablanca, 1942, conversation scenes use eyeline match and 180-degree rules to maintain fluid dialogue transitions. 6.4. Montage and non-linear editing. Not all films follow classical editing logic. Many use montage or discontinuous editing to challenge expectations, provoke thought, or convey complexity. Soviet montage theory, Kuleshov effect. Viewer derives meaning not from individual shots, but from their combination. Eisensteinian montage, collision of contrasting images to evoke emotional or ideological impact, e.g., Battleship Potemkin. Rhythmic editing, cuts follow tempo, music, or internal rhythm of the scene, e.g., Baby Driver. Faster cuts can escalate tension, e.g., Requiem for a Dream. Jump cuts disrupt time or space to create disorientation or irony, e.g., Breathless by Jean-Luc Godard. 6.5. Editing and composition across cuts. Compositional logic must survive across edits. Good editors ensure graphic match, shapes or colors transition smoothly between frames, e.g., Bone to Satellite match in 2001, A Space Odyssey. Continuity of movement. A character moving left to right in one shot should not suddenly move right to left unless justified. Emotional rhythm. Timing cuts with performance beats, emotional highs, or visual cues. Case studies: Birdman, 2014. Simulated single-take movement reinforces claustrophobia and performance anxiety. Mad Max, Fury Road, 2015. Uses center framing and fast cuts to maintain spatial clarity despite chaos. Psycho, 1960. Shower scene montage creates terror through rhythmic, discontinuous editing. 1917, 2019. Continuous long takes with camera movement preserve emotional immersion and real-time tension. Key terms: pan, tilt, dolly, zoom blocking, choreography, motivated movement, match on action, eyeline match 1, 8, 0-degree rule, 3 0-degree rule, jump cut, graphic match continuity, editing montage, Kuleshov effect, rhythmic editing, spatial and temporal continuity.